security, and data analytics. You can participate in all student activities, fraternities and sororities, internships, graduation ceremonies, and much more. Apply for admission today at stillman.edu. Stillman College, where we prepare you for a different world.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him.
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
Can I get the now bar, please? $1. Have a good one.
Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure.
$1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
When you're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
From novice to aficionado, find yourself here. High quality cigars plus personal customer service. Slow Burn is Waco's only mobile cigar lounge, featuring a meticulous, curated collection of premium cigars. Visit our website, www.slowburnwaco.com. That's www.slowburnwaco.com.
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
Let's get back to getting ticks instead of watching flicks. Before we can safely get out there, we need the facts on COVID-19 vaccines. Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your crew.
At Hampton Law, our primary goal is to provide non-traditional yet effective solutions and redefine the approach to client legal concerns. As your trusted legal advisor, we believe in sophisticated, personalized services that eliminate the confusion and complexity sometimes associated with legal matters. Our high standard for client care and concern, coupled with our extensive legal knowledge and skills, make Hampton Law a resource focused on the protection of the client's interest and overall goals. We value our clients and truly enjoy working with them. Visit thamptonlaw.com to conveniently schedule an appointment online. Tamika Hampton, Esquire, 1631 Rock Springs Road, Suite 336, Apopka, Florida, 407-494-1471. thamptonlaw.com.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
I'm returning to Clinton Parish, and Tampa's my community. I grew up here, went to school here, and my wife and I make our home here. What makes Tampa special are its people. So when I represent someone injured in my community, it's personal. Call my office and speak to a real lawyer and not some referral service. I will fight the insurance companies to get the settlement that you deserve. At the law office of Clinton Parish, we take the pain out of being hurt.
HBCU League Pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU League Pass. It's game time. I'm proud and I love my HBCU. HBCU League Pass. Watch your favorite black colleges. Some of the best players in the land. HBCU League Pass. It's game time. I'm proud and I love my HBCU.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It is the 22nd of February, 2023. Hey, how the hell are y'all? You know what? I'm in a damn good mood. I don't know why I am, because yesterday was a horrific day in my world of horrific days. But you know what we do? We're gonna press on and keep this train moving. I got a couple of special guests. One y'all already know. One y'all gonna like when y'all meet her. We became extra buddies last night, and I'm gonna use her to prove one of my other points later on. But here it is. This is the 22nd of February, and I just want to start off by saying again, it's Black History Month. If you ain't learned nothing this month, it's because you don't follow me. February is the only month I don't post a lot of topics on my personal page, because every day, and February is the only month I get on Facebook every day. All I'm doing is pumping Black history facts, and they're not well-known Black history facts. I try to give you something for those of y'all who want to know more, who want to teach your kids more, so we can stop using the same 5 or 6 people, like we only got 5 or 6 famous Black people. That agitates me to no end. So if you ain't learned nothing, it's because you choose not to. And ignorance is a choice in 2023. So I ain't saying follow the page. I ain't telling you doing that. But in the month of February, there are tons of stuff. And I guarantee you, I'm willing to bet you dimes to dollars that if you go through 20 posts, I guarantee you 12 of them you didn't know nothing about. I guarantee you. That's how confident I am in my Black history teaching. And I go out of my way to do it in the month of February. I go out of my way. So with that being said, normally I have a little monologue, but we're going to skip right past that because there's some things I want to talk about. And let me apologize first to my super duper dope producer, because I'm throwing her off, because normally we have a commercial break and then she bring the guest on. But we was having such a nice heated conversation. And if I was a typical male, I would say she was confrontational, but I ain't that kind of dude. I like healthy exchanges. So I'm gonna bring on my 2 guests. Mo, y'all know him. He's one of my regular co-hosts whenever he got time to join us, and he tries to keep me on the straight and narrow when I'm getting too beside myself. Let me back up. First, let me tell y'all who my super producer Melody is. She the one who keep everything running smooth, even though I keep flipping the script on her. She stay with me, and I just want to say I appreciate you for that. You the bomb diggity. Now, Mo is my regular co-host. Whenever he get time, he come and join us. And I got Miss Moretta with us. She was with me on the show last night while all hell broke loose. So we're gonna get into a couple of topics. They only know one, because y'all know what this is. This is Random Thoughts with DVP. So we just do random stuff. So Mel, can you bring my 2 guests on, pretty please? Oh, look at that. Oh man, did y'all see the way that floated in? Oh my goodness. That's some raise worthy shit right there. Mo, give a quick introduction to these. I'm sorry. We're gonna be Southern gentlemen. Moretta,
ladies first.
Say hello to the crowd and give a quick introduction to yourself.
Hello. My name is Moretta Johnson, and I really want to thank you for having me on, but thank you for talking about Black history. I just got a message today that my high school and my elementary school where I'm from, they're talking about Black inventors, and I was part of the trivia question because I'm a Black inventor and I hold a patent, and I want kids to know that everything's possible. So thank you for talking about updating Black history. It's a lot of us out there doing big things.
Moretta, you ain't gonna just cheat like that and tell us you invented something, but not tell us what you invented. Come on, see that you already come on ain't playing fair. Don't do that. What you invent?
It's called the Total Travel Bag, and it's the first diaper bag that has a built-in system that heats and cools the baby's bottles when you're traveling. And it was placed in Babies R Us and Bye Bye Baby, and a company licensed it from me, and they're going to resubmit it and re-put it out.
You don't have no copy to show us? Oh man,
it's Google. You can Google it because they sold it in stores.
You supposed to have one to show the people as we do. Oh man.
Well, we weren't talking about that tonight.
You starting off the show in the corner. Go on and put one leg up and put your back up for the first 5 minutes, for real.
I'm in timeout. I'll be in timeout.
Yeah. All right, Mo, come on. Do the right thing, Mo. Show her how it's supposed to be done. I can't believe she came on here without a bag to show us.
Oh man, don't give me all that pressure, man. Listen, Mo Triplet, man, I'm here. I just support DVP. I love what he's doing with the people, and I'm here to help support that. Just got a lot of life information, a lot of life experience. Want to share that with our people so we can, the people coming behind us, man, they don't need to have it so hard and so difficult. I think some of that is manufactured, and we can help them avoid that. So let's have these discussions, man, and get us to where we need to be.
Exactly. So we're gonna have these uncomfortable conversations. I'm already you new to the show, but this is one of the marching orders. First, we love having uncomfortable conversations. But any problem we come up with, we got to come up with solutions. Other than that, everybody just bitching. We ain't got time for that. So when we discuss some things, we got to discuss different ways that we can fix the problem. And the more minds we have, the better. Because one solution ain't gonna work for everybody. So the more solutions we can come up, something will work for somebody. And first and
Good to
foremost,
me.
we big on respect. We big on respect. So let me just read the post that started this all. And I'm gonna let Moretta talk first after I read the post. I know she answered because I told her what it was about. One of my friends made a post. Are we raising our daughters to be wives? That's a Kevin Samuels question. And can you raise your daughter to be independent and a wife? If I suggested that we have our daughters fix their brother and their father's plate each day, what would be your response? I felt triggered by that. I felt triggered. But I'm gonna let Moretta start off and get us in a right calm space.
First of all, my response to that is all family dynamics are different. I don't think there is a right or wrong if it's not harmful or disrespectful to anyone, how family dynamics are set up. For instance, growing up for me, I used to fix my little nephews, my cousins, they were cousins, the boys' plates when I would help in the kitchen. And I never took out trash and I never washed the cars. That was just something that the boys did. They took care of the cars, and yes, I would fix their plates with mine. I didn't feel like it was something I was doing because I have to show them respect. I felt like it was something I was doing because they had other things that were manual labor that they felt like the boys should do. So as long as it didn't involve disrespect or your family is okay with it, I don't think it's a right or wrong answer for that.
All right, Mo, give me your take on it.
Well, it's pretty complex, man. But what I'll say is this, uh, when I heard you pose the scenario, first thing I thought about is little boy, going out to the garage helping to change a tire, or doing something associated with, what men usually do. Then I thought about, it's probably okay. It just depends on how it's done. But I don't think we should typecast children
Hmm.
to make them think that they're servants. They're not servants. This is something they can do to grow as they go along their journey, but not in a way where they think that they need to be in a servant position, because that works against you when you start getting into corporate and all kind of different spaces in this world.
All right, and this is why it triggered me, because I'm a firm believer. And the title of the show is spousal training, because I don't believe there's such a thing, because you can't train somebody to be a spouse for somebody that you don't know. We're talking about the difference between being good human beings, being ladies and gentlemen. Now, part of what you both said, especially Moretta, when I was growing up, yeah, somebody always fixed my plate, whether it was my mother, whether it was my auntie or whoever. But I was always doing the manual tasks, taking out trash, moving boxes, yada yada yada. So that was just them teaching me to be a gentleman, teaching me to take care of those that take care of me, and vice versa. As this relates to being a spouse, I'm confused because, as I said before, Moretta can date me and Mo, and neither one of us can want the same thing. So how can she train to be a spouse if we want two separate things? Because there's no hard line for what anybody wants. And that example he gave me, just it's like, so her being a good servant means she can be a good spouse. which kind of took me back to yesterday's conversation that me and Moretta was involved in, where one of the gentlemen so eloquently stated he wants a woman who doesn't talk, which is basically what he said. He used the word confrontation, but hey, Chloe, as Chloe said, his word was meant to be a trigger to start a fight. Because every time, it's funny, when Moretta had a question, he went straight in on her just for having a question because he doesn't want to be questioned. And as we talk about what is a good spouse, what is a good spouse to who? Because we don't all want the same things. And this is why it was a trigger, because you can't raise your daughter to be in my mind, you can't raise her to be a good wife. Suppose she doesn't want to be married. You can't raise your kids to be good, your boys to be good husbands. Suppose they don't want to be married. And, as I've said before, today's marriage ain't nothing like our grandparents' marriage. And I ain't knocking nobody whose grandparents been married 100 years. I don't want y'all to take that this way, people. But remember, when your grandmother and your great-grandmother got married, they didn't have no other option. There was no money to be made. There was no real independence for them. So you can't keep saying, why did their marriages last longer? If we're being honest, most of them were trapped in a situation where they didn't have the financial means to be on their own. So we can't use that standard in today's America, because Moretta just told y'all she got an invention. She's selling stuff, which means she can make her own money. She's not dependent upon a man for money. So she's already at a different level. So what would make her a good spouse now? Because I don't know if she want to stay at home. I'm gonna let her answer that question. But she's doing her own thing. So, Moretta, do you need a man to take care of your bills?
No, not the bills. No, I think, and like I told them, tried to say yesterday, everybody is looking for what's best for them, but you got to rule out what's not good for you. Once you, and like you said about raising people to be, raising young women to be a wife, you can't do that because you don't, like you said, you don't know what a man wants, the man that's right for her. You might marry a man that loves to cook. Cooking may be his thing, but when you look at statistics, the majority of men want their woman to be able to cook because they can't. And that's because that's the way we've been raised. So I think when you're introducing a young lady or a teenage girl to the things that women do normally, that's okay. But you got to remember that's not something that should be required. It's something that you're probably going to run into throughout your lifetime. For me personally, I was married for 30 years. I got married in college at 19. Got divorced. I've been divorced for 6 years and I'm engaged now. And the one thing I said was, God, I need communication and affection. Those are the only two things I could think of that I didn't need the money. I didn't need house. I needed communication and affection. And I think that comes with age, or with different things you've been through and what you're looking for. So somebody may not be perfect for somebody else, may be perfect for you. So I think we have to stop trying to prime people for what we think a wife should be or a husband should be. Because what's best for you may not be best for someone else.
Yeah,
Right.
and
The
on that,
typecasting sucks. Go ahead, Mo.
no, I was just gonna say on that point, um, maybe I'm a little different. I don't know. Maybe I'm like some men out there, but it always made me uncomfortable to have somebody serve me a plate. It didn't feel right for me. I felt like I should be contributing or helping out in some kind of way. Um, and that's my own personal experience. But I got over that. I got by that. But to a point where, you know, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I don't want a woman in my life who's going to be a servant. That's not why we're together. We do nice stuff for each other, but that servant mentality, no, we don't need that.
And like I said, that was part of where I was conflicted, because the way it came out, it sounds like this is the only way. And cooking is a way to a man's stomach. The old adage says. Well, I'm not a big eater. So if you can cook, it's great, but in my world, you don't get no points for it because it's not what I'm looking for. And one of the comments yesterday that kind of caught me off guard is, oh, every man want to be respected. And I'm thinking, who are you dating? I mean, respect ain't something you should have to. If you have to ask your woman to respect you, then why are you even dating her? That's a bad choice by you, but you're blaming her for being who she is. And if she's resistant or whatever, why are you trying to change her? See, that's not on her. And you know, my biggest issue, and this is why I wanted a woman and a man. My biggest issue, Mo, you know this, it disturbs me greatly when men try to tell women how to act and when women try to tell men how to act. Take care of your own first. Because as I tried to say yesterday, I was a cop for 22 years. You know how many men we evicted and the woman was subservient and thought he was paying all the bills, but he wasn't. So because of the guy who shall remain nameless, when he don't like to be challenged, when Moretta say, hey, are you paying the bill? Hey, why are you checking me? And then here come the sheriffs or the marshals putting them out because they trust it. So I can't be upset when women want to challenge the system or be confrontational because they want to make sure everything is going well. I don't think there's a problem with that. I think that is just part of the course. I think that's part of the initiation to gaining their submission, for lack of a better word.
And I tried to explain to him yesterday, he said black women should listen to the black man and let them tell them what needs to happen. All I said was, every black man is not in a position to give instruction. That's all I said. You can't tell every black woman to listen to every black man's instruction because there are some instructions that you should not be listening to.
And
Yeah,
I
and
didn't say him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, guess what? Good.
I just wanted to add to what you were saying because um, I personally think that some of this behavior comes from respect that was taken from black men during slavery, and I think it went through our ancestry, and it still continues today, and we still trying to get that back because there's no reason why you should be treating your woman like that. None. But there was a time where men got treated in a subservient way, substandard way, and I think that just got logged in, and we kept it with us, and we moved along. If nobody taught you any better, you take that with you wherever you go. But that's something you got to work on, get that out your system, and understand. You really got to do. My thing is, you really got to do research to understand women. We need a class, and I say black women because this show. Say you really gotta really understand black women because there's a certain way you need to deal with them so that you get the best outcome.
But part of it comes from and I'm gonna speak from a man as a man, from our lack of being able to communicate effectively. And we keep passing it on because we have, as they say, PTSD, post-traumatic slave disorder, and we want to blame everything on something we didn't do, but we don't communicate well, and women do. We don't know how to use our words, so we become a little aggressive and a little violent, and we don't want to be challenged, even though we may not always be right. One of the best, one of my favorite examples is, I don't want a woman who says I'm a ride or die chick. If I'm doing something stupid, I need for her to say, come here, baby, come get some and go to sleep. Because what you're thinking about doing is stupid. But most guys say they want this ride or die chick. If she's willing to let me die, why would I want her on my team? That concept just annoys me to no end. As soon as I hear a chick say, I'm a ride or die chick, she gotta go. Why would you and having my back, why would you let me do something that's gonna get me killed? That to me is like, oh, that ain't what it means. Well, it says ride or die. It don't say ride or come home late. It says ride or die. So why would I want to ride or die chick?
See, I agree with you on that. When I hear people say that, I always said to myself, well, I don't want us to die. So I tell people what I say about me, and when I first I feel like I'm a fairy godmother, and I use that term in my relationships as well, because I want to make it better. You better, you make me better. What can we do to make it better? what's needed? What do you dream of? What do we want to do? And I think we sometimes forget that love is everybody's need to be loved, or way they want to be loved is different. Their love language is different. You give the person what they need, not what you want to give. So if my love language is affection, don't tell me, well, I don't do affection, but I can buy you something. That's how I show love. Well, that's the way you show it, but that's not what I need. So you got to give the person what they need. And I think that comes with just being that, looking into that person and see what they need.
Yeah, and I
In
just
that
add.
example, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, I was just gonna add to that, because you know, I'll tell you guys, I went through that. I went through that progression, and one of the things, like I grew up in a really poor, um, poorly social area. Didn't get taught a lot of life lessons, and so, with that background, I had no idea how to deal with women or girlfriends or whatever. So I had this girlfriend, and I'll admit this. I was My mind state was so messed up that I would not hold this girl's hand because I was always ready for what was gonna happen next. From the area I grew up with to the dysfunction I grew up in, and I'm like, I can't hold your hand because I'm gonna look soft. And I stuck with that for a long time, but eventually I understood that that was one of the dumbest things I could have done. And I'll just add to this that as I was going through that, I had to go through that metamorphosis on my own because I had no course correction. None. Nobody to course correct. So that's why this show is a gem, man, because you can get your course correction by listening
Right.
to the different opinions and the different situations that occur.
And see, is that what you just said, Mo? When and that's why I'm upset when guys always try to tell women how to do. We got enough things that we need to solve on our own, and we need to be talking to each other. Because I will submit as evidence when a woman walks into a room, she within the first 5 minutes of conversation will know what man is worth listening to and submitting to. And it has nothing to do with sex, being a suitor, being none of that. When a man exudes a certain amount of confidence and knowledge, women generally accept 100% their femininity. They cross their legs, they look cute, they turn to the side, and they listen. And they do whatever it is within reason because the man has already earned his level of respect. And for a lot of women, when they give that level of respect, submission comes next. And we're so busy trying to be macho and masculine, and we don't realize how we pushing them off. But we keep telling them what they need to do. We don't understand that. What's the favorite thing about everybody? It ain't what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
If I ask for something, I'm gonna get. It's easy to get what I asked for as opposed to saying, "Damn, when I come home, I want this." Oh, I told you what I wanted and you ain't do it. Well, Moretta's not a child, so why do I need to tell her what I want? If me and Moretta are dating, I say, Moretta, I sure would like to have some spaghetti when I come home tonight. There's a good chance I'm gonna get it. But if I say, hey, I get off at 5 o'clock, I want that spaghetti ready when I get there. There's a good chance she ain't even gonna be at home when I get there because
She's gonna be at the mall. She's gonna be at the mall, man.
right. And you're right, Sam. A lot of women are poor communicators, but are they doing it because that's what we do? And see, that's why I want us to accept what we do first. Let the women take care of the women. Because in Moretta's instance, when we were talking about love languages, and for me, this is a flag. If I tell you what my love language is and you can't do it, then why am I pushing this relationship? If you're not willing to change or adapt to give me what I want, why am I trying to pursue this relationship? And in hindsight, this is what a lot of people do in relationships because they keep trying to make it work. Well, if there's no adaptation, if there's no change, where what's the word, Mel? Reciprocity. If I said it wrong, blame it on Mo. Well, we got to give some give and take. But if all I'm doing is taking, why are we still trying to be with this person? And men, in my opinion, they want to be so aggressive. They want to be so aggressive. You know, aggression works when I'm talking to Mo and we arguing about something. Aggression doesn't really work well when you're talking to the woman that you're trying to win over, because now you are the aggressor. And based on what they've been in life, they see that as aggression as somebody who beats women. They see that aggression as somebody who doesn't want a partner. They want a puppy. Oh, no, Sam, I'm never gonna say every man is a poor communicator. Like I ain't gonna say every woman is. But men are worse at it because we never learned to, as Mo was saying, when did we learn to control our emotions? But as soon as you say a man is emotional, we get offended. Oh, I ain't emotional. I'm logical. Well, why are you raising your voice? That's emotion, player. That's emotion.
But when we
now you want to
respond,
fight me.
we're
Go ahead. You're
combative.
right.
Black women are
Right.
called combative. That word last night, and he knew it was a trigger word when he said it, because there was nothing about me being combative. I was just trying to have a dialogue. But when you question some people and they want to throw black women, and it's always for us under the bus to be combative. And the word combative means ready to fight. That's what it means. That's the definition of it. So I feel like we've had to be so strong and really get out here and fight for our men, for our children, that now we're labeled as combative when we've been put in situations where single mothers have had to fight the school board, fight the police for our men to come home, fight not to breastfeed the white woman's baby. You know, we've had to fight. So now that we're trying to just express ourselves, we're labeled as fighters.
And it's something that you had to do. As I look through social media and I see whole, you want to fight DVP stuff. I see whole pages dedicated to avoiding child support. I see men talking about what they won't do and the kids ain't theirs. So we're leaving women. We're leaving them. I don't care what the stats say. Oh, 50% of men are there, yada, 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 whatever. So that means a lot of us are still leaving. We're leaving our children behind. And then I blame Moretta for making my child soft. But I left the child behind. I left the child behind. I left. The man left. Very few times do women leave the children. Let's just put that out there. So who's left to raise them while I'm not living my best life? But I'm gonna tell her what she should do. I'm gonna say what's wrong with my kids when we have these conversations. And this is strictly about men, because I'm gonna let Mel and Claude, wish you was here. The women have to take care of the women, but we can't keep putting them in a position where they have to fight. We can't keep putting them in a position. What did Mel ask me earlier? Oh, where she is not sure if I got her back or not. Once a woman knows that you have her back, again, she will fall into her submissive feminine nature. I guarantee this. They want to know that we truly have them, not in word, but in deed and in action, without being requested. So we have to do certain things. I don't know many men who don't mind earning their role as head of household, but there's a ton of us who want to just demand being head of household without putting forth any effort. And to me, that's the issue. And I got Moretta on here so she can come up with some things that women can do for women to teach them to be better women, not wives, because everybody doesn't want to be a wife, especially in today's America. Every man doesn't want to be married. Every woman doesn't want to be married. But as humans, by our very nature, we need people. We need each other. But the training to be this or that is insane. It is insane. Who does this? And I'm going to say, oh, women don't do this. Women, well, what are you doing? Moretta made a point yesterday that some men aren't capable of this. Just because you can make a decision don't mean it's a good decision. Just because we taller than you don't mean nothing. Because I'm stronger than you, what does that mean? When me and Mo first met, we talked about, I had an issue with one of his friends who kept saying men are natural providers and protectors. And yeah, I know a bunch of men who are not providers or protectors. They are good B guys. They are the greatest of helpmates. They need a strong woman. So there is no standard that applies to every man. Mo gives the example. My first wife was a great shot. If we gonna get into something that involves shooting, I'm stepping to the back and letting her get that shot off. I'm okay. She was a sharpshooter. Why would I let my testosterone let me start shooting first when I'm gonna hit 6 out of 10 times, she gonna hit 10 out of 10 times. I'm letting my macho get in there, and that's the crazy part. But we want to keep telling women what to do. This is why you ain't got a man. And you ever notice the dudes that say that the most are single? So, what you got? Come on, Loretta.
Well, okay. You're on mute.
You muted.
Okay. With regard to women, I think I'm going to say we. I want everybody to know I'm saying we. We as women have to be who we are. Be who you are. You know, we can't pretend to be somebody else. I think a lot of times we get caught up into what other women, not just men, but what other women think we should be. And that can tear you down just as fast with relationships, with your job, with household, worried about what other women think you should be. One thing we all should consistently do, it's okay to be a nurturer, because as women, it's something inside you. Whether you're a lesbian, whether you're straight, whether you're black, whether you're white, that hindsight and that nurturing is there. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think we should look at that with regard to our men and our children, because our men have so much to go through, and they tune down what they feel like nurturing and catering and love should be. So it's okay to bring that to them at home. And I think we should adapt to that. That's okay. That doesn't make you less of a woman. That doesn't make you less strong, because sometimes you don't have to be strong. I'm so strong sometimes at work that when I come home, that's not who I want to be. You know, it's okay. So I think we have to get comfortable with who we are as an individual woman, knowing who we are, what we like, what we don't like. I had a lady, and I get so tired of it. I don't wear acrylic nails, and I don't wear a lot of makeup unless it's something I got to make up for. And I had somebody tell me, if you're going to be out here doing television stuff and doing this and doing that, you really should wear eyelashes, and you really should do your nails. You never do your nails, and you should have designer bags. And I'm sitting there thinking, that's not me though. I'm closing deals without fingernails. Let me be me. Because I think we put too much as women on ourselves, trying to be like everybody else instead of being what's comfortable for you. And when you're comfortable, you're happy. So that's one thing for women I think we need to do, is figure out who we are individually, not as a whole, not as a group.
Yeah, and
And
I
that's
just
so
want to add
important because
this.
most of us don't know who we are. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, I just want to add this because I saw this and it kind of blew my mind some. Um, it was Judge Hatchett talking about her life, and she was saying, she was a judge, full blown judge. Most people know who she is. She's on TV giving instructions. She's the boss, right? She said, when I come home, I appreciate the fact that I can take that crown off and I can just let down. I can just let myself relax, and sometimes my husband just takes control, and I appreciate that because I don't always want to be in that leadership mode. And it made me think, it's like, wow, man, this lady's so powerful, but she still can appreciate the other side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something we got to work on. I was telling somebody, I don't know anybody who's been in a successful long-term relationship, Mo, where men don't submit just as much as they ask their wives to. You can't have a relationship if both of your guys are not submitting. If she wants to come home and cry on your shoulder and she just wants you to stroke her hair or pat her on the back, we become the nurturer at that point. They need us. That's a role that most of us ain't really good at unless it involves sex. But nurturing is not limited to female. That's why I hate some of these things that, oh, this is feminine, this is masculine. We all nurture. And if we're not, that is part of the issue, is that men don't know how to nurture boys. We keep leaving it up to women, and then wonder why they don't do certain things. But we don't know how to do this because we so busy trying to be strong. Oh, don't smile, don't do this, don't do that. Boys are growing up extra confused. Extra confused. we don't know how to handle our emotions. Oh, I can teach. Every time I hear guys say, "Oh, I can teach my son," you can't teach me how to deal with emotions because you don't know how my emotions work. You know how yours work, and we keep trying to do that. Just let's do real world stuff and practice so you can see what my response is and ask me why I made that response. That goes for anybody. I can teach my daughter to be a good human being. Moretta can teach a boy to be a good human being. You know, I made a post one time. What is it that a woman can't teach a boy? And what is it that a man can't teach a girl? And I got some of the dumbest responses I've ever heard. Because there's nothing that one sex can't teach another sex. But we're so caught up into this thing of, oh, this works for every. We don't know who we are. We can't teach our kids to be who they are. So nobody becomes their best self. Everybody's acting like somebody else. Then we say, oh, be you. You know, you're the best person you can be. But we're all adapting to fit in. Mo didn't hold hands because he didn't want to look soft. But that's what he was. That's what he was shown to believe was right. I dated a girl who thought violence was love because that's what she was shown that was right. And these are the things that we don't want to accept because dudes, are so quick to blame women. I see a lot of women who blame dudes for stuff. You know what? I just move off their page. I stop following them because I know that's somebody I don't want to be around. And this is why I don't get why we can't just walk away. Moretta said she was married for 30 years and finna get married again. Bless her heart. She just didn't get enough. She didn't get enough the first time. But I'm sure there are things about him that are worth changing. But she can live with him. She can live with those things that are small that may not be preferences, but all her priorities will be met. And everybody keep looking for this perfect person. But Moretta, Mo, you've been married for 1,000 years. But what do we always say in relationships? Don't treat me like the last guy. But we don't want to be treated. Moretta, you don't want to be treated like the last girl either, do you? So it's all a learning phase.
It is. It's a learning phase, and then people aren't perfect, but what's perfect for you? And like I said, there were some requirements that for me that may seem simple to somebody else, but when you didn't have it, and that was what you longed for, then and hey, my first husband was not a bad person at all. We're friends, but it's perfect for someone else, and that's okay.
Right.
It's okay. So I think we have to. That's another thing we have to stop doing, especially when you have family together. When you move on, why be so angry because it didn't work for you? Because sometimes you have to go through a learning curve, or sometimes you just fuck up. People just mess up and they regret it, but there's no need to carry it with you, because as long as you carry it with you, you're carrying all this over for your children, your grandchildren. Everybody got to deal with it. Everybody got to make decisions on who not to talk to, and it's just not even worth it. And as families, and as Black families especially, we got to learn to build as cohorts, as organizations, as we got to start thinking how to make it better for the children involved and the families and the generations to come after us, because you're connected with people forever, especially if you've got children with them forever.
And it's a bitterness that we carry for no reason whatsoever. When the thing is, and I learned this a long time ago, every relationship, every single one, if you're an adult, will teach you something, good or bad. You either learn something about yourself that you need to change or something you don't need to do again. If you didn't pick that up from a relationship, then you were the issue because you were not willing to learn anything. And as they say, sometimes people come into your life for a reason, some for a season. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. Because that's how a lot of us got better. We messed up something. Let's say you learn more from losing than you do from winning. And we don't take that to heart. I've had some bad relationships, but guess what? I picked up something. I picked up something good from them all. So I'm beyond that, because we have to know better and say, hey, well, what did you learn from this? Well, now I know I don't want to date this type of person, or now I know I shouldn't do this, because man or woman, you know what? that was a good person. I just wasn't ready. Once I accept that, my own accountability and responsibility, that hate and vitriol goes away. But we have to accept where we messed up. We have to accept that. And sometimes the mess up is something simple as making a bad choice. And we don't want to say we made bad choices. If me and Moretta can't get along, me telling Moretta, oh, you missed out on a good man. She didn't miss out on a good man if she didn't value me. And I every time I see that term, oh, you missing out on it. How you know what I'm missing out on? Do I look unhappy? What makes you think you're such a great person? Oh, because I do this, and this. Again, things that I don't value. I don't value anything you just listed. You know, I cook, I clean. Well, I don't eat and I'm not messy. So what do those do for me? Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. What are
And,
you
you know,
looking for? What are your requirements? That's right. And everybody's doesn't match up. You can be a great person, but you can't give me that thing that I need. And it's nothing against you, but that's just something that you don't do that I need. So people have to stop thinking because they go out with somebody and oh well he's got a great job and he's a nice guy and he does this and what's your problem? Well, he may be, but there may be something that I need that he can't do emotionally, psychologically. I mean, we don't know, but it is what it is.
And Sam, this is a sex thing. It's not a man or a woman. It's a human thing. I'm sorry. Both of us do this. Both of us blame the other one. Both of us won't accept accountability and responsibility. Nobody likes to say I made a bad choice. But guess what? We make bad choices and we do it continuously. We ain't just supposed to keep making the same bad choice over and over again. But sometimes we like people for the wrongest of reasons, and we don't know that until 6, 7 months later. Sometimes it was a loin. Sometimes it was because we needed something and they provided it. And we have to accept that when it's time to move on, as opposed to coming with the bitterness or the evilness or whatever it is. And men make bad decisions, women make bad decisions. And
Yesterday,
say again?
Yesterday, one thing they said, and you probably remember this, and I tried to give an example of how that's the same on the women's side. They said that women that make a lot of money will not date blue collar men with regular jobs. And they point blank said that, right? And I said, I have friends who make high six figures who blue collar men won't approach or talk to them. So it goes both ways. I know a young lady right now, she's a surgeon, make about $600,000, and she tried to date a guy that was a mechanic. He told her, "I don't want anybody that makes more money. A woman makes more money than me." So it goes both ways, and I think people need to start looking at the person and what the needs are. Just like we just said, what are your requirements? Can that person provide me with communication if I need that? What am I looking for? And men have a tendency, sometimes some men, to think they have to be more than the woman. And that is the craziest thing to me. When you're trying to come into a situation to build for the household or for everyone, why does one person have to be the male who is doing more? I don't understand that.
Well,
Yeah,
and it's funny. Go ahead, Mo.
I was just gonna give my thoughts on that, and I'll just say, I know some of it is related to a man's ego. If he's not mature enough to be able to handle that, to say, listen, I don't need to be the best or make the most money or know everything, more than my woman, then he's never going to be able to handle that.
That's
And
sad.
it's a maturation level because I tell people I don't make enough money to date Oprah, but in my Southern gentleman thing, if I can't pay for the first date, we ain't going. But if Oprah said, "Hey, let's go to the French Riviera," I'm gonna say, "Yeah, but we got to stop by the Waffle House first because I'm paying for the first date, and she can pay for the second one." But it's too many times, and it's crazy. When I was making about $22,000 a year, I remember this. I met a woman who was making $250,000 a year. She adored me. She adored me. I felt, as Monroe said, I felt she was out of my league strictly because of the money. I wasn't mature enough to handle that. And when guys say this, they don't want to say that. And the second issue, you know, and I think you brought up yesterday, is sometimes the places that we hang around aren't people, you know, people always say, oh, ain't nobody above my level. Well, you're delusional. You're delusional because we're not all equal. We're not all equal. We don't all provide the same things, whether it's education, finances, whatever it is. Everybody ain't for everybody. Sometimes people are a step above you and they intimidate you, which makes you want to be derogatory and confrontational and try to bring them down. Men do it, women do it. Well, men love to say, "Oh, I'm gonna break her down. She thinks she too pretty." Women, oh, look at him. He too arrogant. Why not just leave? Why you feel the need to attack this person? And this is something we do. And for me, it means it's a subconscious issue where we got confidence issues, where we're insecure, and we just feel the need to break somebody down. Most men have. Why do most men have to earn more than their woman, though, Samuel? I mean, if we're building together, which is what most people keep talking about now, in this economy where you need two incomes, why does it matter who makes the most money? If love is the nexus, why does the money matter? Because Moretta, Mo, have you heard a man say, "Oh, I make 60,000. I need for my." Have you heard on any requirements where the man said, "I need my woman to make less than me"? Have y'all ever heard a man say that?
No.
Yet they look for it subliminally.
Mm-hmm.
But it ain't never nobody requirement that she make less than me. I think yesterday, you know, they respect, peace, yada, 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 yada. But nobody said I need for her to make less than me. Even though we see guys all the time who feel like that's a subliminal. Oh, because you rank head of household financially. Well, head of household is just who makes the best decisions. In my world, I don't know how you guys do it, but you know, I did a show with Chloe, and one of the girls like, when I first meet a man, I want to know about his 401k. I just walk out on you. We're on a date. Why do you need to know about my 401k? We're not finna be married or nothing. At best, we might have sex, but if he can't tell me about his 401k, I don't want to deal with him. I said, that's why you're single. Any man who starts off leaving with his 401k is going to use you. He's going to show you his money and keep it over here and keep getting you to follow along and play pet. What you laughing about, Marilla? Uh-oh. Did we freeze?
She looks frozen, yeah.
Everybody look frozen. Hey, boss lady,
I'm not.
You want to take a...
I'm not frozen.
Well, on one screen you are. Hey, you want to... It's what time is it? It is 6:55. You want to take a quick break, boss lady? I know I missed all my little cues. We're going to take a break and we'll be back like in, 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Melvin Online Women's Boutique.
Maureen is saving big holiday shopping at Amazon, so now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
Oh, that spin class was brutal. Well, you can try using the Buick's massaging seat.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Can I use Apple CarPlay to put some music on? Sure, it's wireless.
Pick something we all like.
Okay, hold on. What's your Buick's Wi-Fi password?
Buick Envision 2021.
Oh, you should pick something stronger. That's really predictable.
That's a really tight spot.
Don't worry, I used to hate parallel parking.
Me too.
Hey.
Really outdid yourself.
Yes, we did.
The all-new Buick Envision, an SUV built around you, all of you.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Newman College is an HBCU in Tuscaloosa, Alabama,
where we prepare students for a different world. Stillman is a college of distinction for last year and this year. Our largest majors are business and biology, followed closely by psychology, criminal justice, and history for pre-law, communications, English, and religion. Our newest degree programs are in the Department of Computational Sciences, which covers cybersecurity, data analytics, and math. The Biomedical Academy prepares students for competitive entry into health professions and graduate programs. We have established summer biomedical research internships with major research institutions, such as the University of Alabama, Drexel and Temple Universities in Philadelphia, the Salk Institute in San Diego, California, and the universities of Florida, Indiana, and Iowa. We became creative with social distancing and masks for the pandemic. Our students enjoy movie nights at the stadium and the new Melissa and Davis Legacy Courtyard, where you can eat and enjoy friends. We have the Divine Nine Greek letter organizations, student government leadership, and ambassadors. Our small class sizes, nurturing faculty, and friendly environment let you know that Black Lives Matter at Stillman College each and every day. Applications are free. Sign up at discover.stillman.edu. Complete the contact card and apply today. Stillman College, where we prepare students for a different world.
Now, you can live in Texas and not have a good red meat blend. Texas Cowboy Dust is designed for steak and other red meats. It's out to be my most popular spice blend, made with onions, peppers, ground mushrooms, pink salt, and other spices. Texas Cowboy Dust also goes great with chicken, pork, vegetables, and adds a restaurant quality sheen to gravies and sauces.
It's like a loop machine. Going around town, people trying to get down.
Vanilla smoked sea salt seasoning is for seafood. The tarragon and fennel bring out the natural sweetness in seafood. I also use it in rice dishes, on yams, asparagus, blueberry pancakes, and believe it or not, chocolate chip cookies. Vanilla smoked sea salt adds a salty and savory component to sweet dishes that create a symphony for the tongue.
Can I get the now bar, please? $1. Have a good one. Got it.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
This is Brian Fulford.
AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
What's up? We're back. I've been traumatized. I'm traumatized. That's all I can say. That's all I can
TMI.
say. So what we want to talk about for this second half is our regrouping. I'm gonna go smoke. I'm gonna go drink. All of that. What are some things? What are some things that, as people, we need to work on to become better people? Because I believe that is what we're all looking for. A better person, somebody who, I don't like the word completes us, but somebody who makes us feel better about ourselves. One of the examples I like to give is that as a man, I've dated lots of women. When I meet a woman who I feel makes me better, I start getting rid of other women. There's nothing they have to say to me. There's nothing they have to threaten me with. It's a point of feeling better with them. And me and Mel were talking earlier today about who women choose to listen to and change or adapt for. It's somebody who they feel makes them better. Because we are what we are. But why is it that we don't do it for this person or that person? Why is it that when we break up, they can get married to the next person? It's like maybe they learned a lesson with you, so now they are more complete because they know what they were doing wrong. Everybody is just not for you. So what are some things that we can teach our kids, our nephews, our nieces, so that they can become better people, so that they are more attractive in general? Not to become spouses, but just partners, for lack of a better term, because everybody don't want to get married these days.
I think one of my biggest things that I have two boys, and young men, 26 and 18. I've always told them a few things. One thing is selflessness. You cannot be selfish with anybody, with anything, with anybody that's going to be a part of your life, a part of your work. Selfish comes back to bite you, and it crosses out a lot of things that may be good for you that were coming your way. So I speak on not being selfish. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to work hard for yourself. But if you're going to be in a situation or a relationship or even dating, selfish behavior is not a good way to be. And then the other thing is communication. Because that maybe sometimes it can be family history where men have a failure to communicate or don't feel like they should share feelings. I talk to them about communication. Because as women, we need it. And if you're going to be able to deal with any type of problem, that's going to be one of the things you have to focus on. So communication, selfishness, and respect. When people, if we start respecting each other more, different races, different men, women, gender, I think everything will be a lot better with that word. If we know what the word means and how to have respect for others, that'll go a long way. That'll go a long way with changing a lot of things that are wrong right now.
And Mo, before you give yours, I've always had, I ain't gonna say always, I have a problem with one of the things you said, and it's probably semantics, because I don't believe respect is the end all to be all. I think being disrespectful is a bigger problem than being respected. Because personally, I don't care if you respect me, but what you're not gonna do is be disrespectful. As long as you can go about your day and conduct business, so I'm a bigger proponent of not being disrespectful, because why are we dealing with people if we think they have no respect for us? And that's why I say,
Agreed.
I don't get that one as being such a big issue, because why would you deal with somebody who you think doesn't respect you? All right, Mo, go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah, no, the thing is, we need to set up a pass down channel. Right here on this show, we got 150 years of experience. 150 years of experience, right? So,
I'm
and we got a
21. So
male
how did you get to
perspective.
150?
You ain't 20, man. You ain't 21, man. Look at that scruff on your chin. We got 150 years of experience. We got two men, and we got a woman.
Oh, he's assuming I'm 50.
150 years of experience, at least. At least. No, I'm 75. That's why I'm 75.
No,
We
you're
got about
right. You're right.
150. Yeah,
I'm there.
no, we got about 150 years of experience here, and so we don't want to let that go to waste. You know what I mean? All these things that our young people are going through, and even older people are going through. One of us has probably saw or been through one of those situations, and we have some knowledge that we can give to them. So we need our tribe. We need to get our tribe back so we can share information and solutions to say, oh yeah, I've been in that situation, man. This is what I did. Or somebody else say, hey, I've been in that situation. This is what I did. So we need to share a pool so we can help grow in this space.
And I think we need to be better at asking questions of our youth, asking them and giving them scenarios, asking what would you do in this situation, ask them why. Because if we don't understand their mindset, it's kind of like when our parents was talking to us and we thought we knew better than them. If you don't understand the mindset of the person that you're talking to, you could be talking over their head and totally missing the conversation because they're just not where you are. And I think we have to do a much better job of understanding them. When they say, hey, well, this is what I would do. Ask them, well, why would you do this? What do you think the outcome would be? So are you prepared for this outcome? And have you ever thought about this outcome? So what happens if this? I think we should do more what happens. Was that Stanford that showed up and I missed it? I know you just
It
swapped
looks
out there
like
for
it.
a minute, Mo. Okay, I see. Yeah, he just joined. So, and I think we got to do a better job of that because sometimes, as older people, our experiences don't translate well to the newer generation. They're more social media savvy. They're more connected to a larger group than we were. But sometimes their interpersonal skills don't work as well because they are so social media savvy. Back in our day, if we couldn't go outside, that was a horrible day. Nowadays, kids, I mean, I can't tell you the last time I passed a big field and saw kids playing football or girls doing hopscotch, anybody roller skating. I can't tell, other than going to the mall where they starting fights, when is a socialization period? So they're missing an important part of getting to know each other. And I think that's what we gotta get them to do. And like I said, give them scenarios. What's gonna make you better? I said, my mom used to, when I learned to drive, she would never get out the car. She taught me to be a gentleman. She taught me to open doors through practical exercise. It's hard for me to do that with my sons if it's just me and them. Now I can tell them to do it for my daughter or for their mother at the time. But how else do I teach them how to be a gentleman? I can tell them so much, but when is it practice? Moretta, when do girls get practice on how to be a good woman, a good human?
I think most of us that are my age now, right now, is tough to say. I don't have a girl, but it's tough to say because when we were growing up, our grandmothers would say, "Come help me shell these peas. Come, let me show you how to fold these up. Help me fold these sheets." We saw things and we were part of what they were doing. Kids today, they don't have to help do anything. So they don't really get to see some of the things that, well, maybe feminine, or they know how to put on eyelashes. I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody, all of them know how to do makeup, nails, and take IG pictures. And a lot of the moms are the ones showing them that. I saw some little babies doing some TikToks where they're shaking and dancing a certain way, and they caught the dances, and they're 2 and 3 years old, and they know how to do it. They know how to turn on the camera. So sad to say, but that's what a lot of our girls are learning, or little girls. So it depends on who's having the children. It's hard to say. I don't have girls, so I don't
But
know what they're doing now,
are
but I
you
know what I see.
Are you there for young ladies to come and talk to you? There was a girl that worked. I'm sorry. There was a young lady that worked at one of my jobs, and I just asked her a simple question, and she was telling me about her boyfriend, and she was ready to have his baby. And I was like, well, where do you live? She's like, I live with my mom. And I was like, well, where did he live? She's like, he lives with his mom. So like, so you wouldn't have a baby with a guy who doesn't have a place to live. And in this
That is a
building that we
big
work in,
thing. Listen. We just had that conversation with a young girl the other day, and I'm going to tell you, posing with your stomach out and being pregnant and doing gender reveals is like a trend. They don't care about being married. They don't care about having the father in a house with them. They don't care about plans. They don't care if the parents are going to have to take care of the baby. They think it's cute to be posed up, belly out on social media, having a gender reveal party. It's like a baby doll now. I don't know.
and ain't that what happened right with the crack epidemic? Everybody wanted to be loved, so they had this baby that grew into a child that nobody wanted. But and my thing was, before you have this baby and get into all this, why don't you talk to three of these ladies who've been married 20 and 30 years and find out what it takes to make this go? Because I asked her, I said, are you ready to be a single parent? And she's like, no, why would I be a single parent? I said, well, you already finna have a baby by somebody who ain't got a place to stay. So how
And you
y'all
have
gonna
no
manage
place to
this?
stay. And as parents, we may have to start putting them out. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I mean, what do you do when they know that they have you to depend on? When they know they can
But
live there with the baby, what do you do?
but but where do I get women like you who've been married for 30 years and gonna do a second one? Where do we get you so that these women, these young ladies can have somebody to talk to and hear some of the stories where they got somebody to act, because nobody listens to their parents anymore. They listen to outsiders. So like I do some
And
mentorship
I
now.
agree. That is so true. And I know I try to always make myself available. On Monday nights, I do a call. It's like a testimonial call, and we reflect on a lot of things. And it's just a call. You don't have to show your face. It's a free conference call, and you just log in and listen, and we share thoughts and anything you want to talk about, basically. And there are a lot of people out there doing those types of things. I know K Camp, the rapper, his mom Shauna, she has a whole series that's a class called Wifey Me. And Wifey Me is not about being a wife. It's about putting yourself in the frame of mind of what you deserve and how to treat yourself. So I really think that that's a good program that people should check out with her, and just reach out to people that you admire. I did it. Reach out to older people, people that you see doing things that you want to do. But no, that's not what they want to do. They want to reach out to see other things. But we're here.
Yeah, and I just add, you guys are hitting on one of the things that I always saw as a problem, which is how does a young person get a blueprint to life, right? If you don't have parents who are engaged enough to give it to you, if you don't have friends who are engaged enough to give it to you, where's your source at to get the blueprint of life so you can live a good life, so you can have the baby at the right timing, so you can start preparing for a good job. You don't rent too early or whatever it is, and make those same mistakes that a lot of us have made already. Where's that at? Where we find that at?
Well,
I,
and I
I
don't want to
think
speak for him. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think, like I said, I think it's out there. I think they see women who are doing great things and
You said something.
spouses and couples, but I think they bypass it because that's not what they want to know. Their blueprint is how she made $20,000 on OnlyFans, how he made 100,000 off a single. They want quick, fast, everything in a hurry. They don't want this blueprint, and some of them do, but it's like it's dwindled down so low right now.
And I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this for self promotion, but I'm about to teach a stock market basics class, and I'm gonna tell you
Wow.
right now. Um, I had to learn it the hard way, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's one of the best things that I ever did, to help prepare myself in life. And I suggest, if you don't know anything, I mean, this is for everybody. This is for adults, kids, whatever. If you don't know anything about stocks in the stock market, get yourself a little bit of knowledge and you'll be dangerous. Just trust me on that one.
I want to know more about that because my 18-year-old, he just got old enough where he can dabble and he is loving it. So I would really like for him to take that class.
All right, I'll send you
Uh-oh.
the information.
Okay.
Yeah, we may have to do a whole thing on that. But one of the things, like I said, Stanford was supposed to be here because Stanford, I know, is a single father. He has a daughter and a son. And I asked him, who's teaching his daughter to be, in her feminine eyes. And he was speaking about the village, his parents, his aunts. There are other women around that his daughter can learn from. And we talked about this before about these villages that nobody wants now because everybody wants to be alone and they take that as a badge of courage. The village is just more than your relatives. The village is, as I think you said yesterday, Moretta, it's what your reach is, what's your span where you can see other things, because until we see better, we don't know that there is better because we only know what we're exposed to. So sometimes one of the great things about Atlanta is you can see Black people doing great things everywhere. You can be walking around and just walking the famous Black people like it's nothing, and it gives you hope so you can see something outside of your little bubble. And I think that's something that we got to do more of, as well as quit isolating our kids and telling them that they ain't got to listen to nobody but us. Expose them to things. Let them try something where they get to be around a different group, because they won't listen. And as Chloe was saying, if they won't listen, then what? Well, you can only help the ones that want the help. When I do the mentorship, the boys that gravitate to me are the ones I deal with. I don't try to grab them and pick them out because I realize it's a waste of my energy and I'm gonna get frustrated. But the ones who come around me and start asking me questions, that's who I focus my attention on, because we cannot let them frustrate us, because you're gonna lose trying to help the ones that don't want it. Some gonna be there because they were forced to by their school, by their parents or whatever. The hospitals can't save everybody and we can't either. But the ones who want it, be there. And it's like people who come into my chat sometimes. Some of these people I don't even know, but they'll see a show and they'll come into my chat. You deal with the ones who want it. And we go from there. It's kind of like, Mo, you get a lot of prep now. Everybody want to know about this stock class, because once you put it out there, the ones that want it will come. You can't try to make everybody come. And it's a waste of time. So we're going to figure out how we can do that so we can make sure that y'all either get invited or we start having some stock segments on the show so that Mo can do his thing. But it's putting it out there, letting them see better. And sometimes as adults, we have to learn better. Or we have to let our kids or the people that look up to us know, hey, I didn't have this opportunity when I was growing up. You should take advantage of this. Had I known better, how much better would we be if we'd have knew about money and credit at 16 or 17? Where could we be right now if somebody had told us how to save money as opposed to spending everything we got, getting the newest Dr. J's, I'm telling my age, or something else? I mean, these kids want these $2,000 phones. And guess what? Parents are buying them for them. These kids are getting breast augmentation in the 10th and 11th grade. Who paying for that? Their parents. And it's they learning bad habits, but they don't have anything else to learn from. So we got to step up as mentors outside of their traditional circles to help them out. Oh, I see Moretta moving now. So yeah, I mean, this is we got to figure that out. Mo, when you thinking about doing this stock market class?
I'm gonna send you the information. It's gonna be I think it's February 25th. I got to look at it again. It's in about a week, but I'll send you the information and you can send it to whoever you think might be interested. All they got to do is show up.
Well, you got people asking me now. You want me to put it in chat?
Okay, I'll give it to you.
All right. Let's see. And we were talking about the pregnancies And Sam said, the pregnancy is some of their bad decision making. And I'm thinking he was talking about the girls at this time, but she can't get pregnant by herself. And this is a bad decision making where, when my son, when I thought he was about to become sexually active, we had a talk, and it wasn't about social disease or nothing. It was strictly about babies. And I had to let him. We talked about the finances that it cost, how upset and disappointed I would be with him, and we talked about a lot of different things other than, it could fall off if you do this. There's all these social diseases, because fear didn't work for us. It ain't gonna work for nobody. It's a bad decision for the boys. It's a bad decision for the boys. And this is how we get left behind, because most boys are not mentally capable of being fathers in their early 20s. But most of them ain't ready till they 30-ish. So why is it they're so quick to want to have this unprotected sex? And yes, it's women too who don't want to use protection, but it's a bad decision. But nobody wants to talk to them about that. We figure if we don't talk about it, it won't happen. I had a therapist who said if her daughter had sex and got pregnant at 16 or 17, she was gonna put her out the house because she was trying to be an adult. And I'm like, when did sex become an adult act? And this was a child psychologist who was willing to put her child out for being pregnant. Who does this affect? This affects our whole generation. And as men, we can't keep blaming women for this if we keep leaving. They just exposed Karl Malone again for ignoring his child for 20 years. And somebody was like, men do this. A man can have a child and not claim the child forever. Nobody would know until it hits the fan. It happened with Herschel Walker. It's happened with lots of people. A woman doesn't have that luxury. But once she's left out, how can we be mad at her for being scarred? How can I be mad at Moretta if she doesn't trust me and if she's had a child and the father left? She's gonna make me prove myself a little bit more because she's been left. And I think that's part of the issue is I don't want her treating me like the next man, but I can't disregard the trauma she's been through no more than she should disregard the trauma I've been through. But that's a conversation. And nobody wants to have these uncomfortable conversations. We only want to talk about the good things. And
on the
that's where we
flip
have to
side,
start.
and on the other side of that, young men, mothers of young men, fathers of young men, if your son is not married to a young lady and there's a baby involved, it should be automatic testing to make sure that both parties are the parents. Because a lot of times for young men, they find out 5 years later, 10 years later, 3 years later, and then the mom and dad been being grandma and grandpa to somebody that's not theirs. And the women are not made to pay the money back and child support. And it's so much involved in becoming parents. And I used to be in legal for a long time. And one of the biggest things that angered me was that there is a lot of young men paying 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road for children that are not theirs. And their whole lives have been turned upside down. They didn't go to college like they were intending to. So when kids make bad decisions, sometimes the young girls may not know, honestly. So I think that should be a mandatory thing that's always done with parents on both sides. Get together, make sure everybody's on the same page, make sure everybody that is involved is supposed to be involved.
And that's one of the things I think should be done at the hospital. They're giving all the other tests.
It should.
To me, that should be automatic.
It should be automatic.
Not invasive at that time. And before she should go to court. And, I even did a show. I'm doing a PowerPoint now to present for guys what to do if you're hit with you got a baby and you truly don't believe it's yours. There are ways to get out of it. You just can't be scared of the system. And again, that's an uncomfortable conversation that throughout the years we rather run from than address head on. Because if it's not yours, you don't have to get stuck with it. But understand, once you're stuck with it, it's hell to get out of. It is hell to get out of.
And one thing that a lot of men, not just young men do not know If you are not married to a woman and you have a child with that woman, if you do not do the legitimation paperwork, not sign the birth certificate, that doesn't matter. That doesn't give you rights. It does not give you rights. You can't go pick up that child on visitation and say, I want my week. No, the birth certificate does not do that for you. Legitimation does that for you. That's a document that has to be filed with the court. You have to take a blood test, prove it's yours. Then you can ask for visitation. Then you can make decisions on that child. So without that piece of paper, you have no rights. She can
Look
tell
at
you
that. And
you can't get this month.
she wasn't even on the show when I told y'all that. But this is part of the decision. This is part of the training that for me needs to be going into the manhood thing, because I can sit here all day long and tell you not to have unprotected sex, and I know it's wasted energy. If you're gonna have it, these are the things you need to be prepared
You
for.
need to know.
When do they need the paper? Mel, and I tell people, when you go to that first child support hearing, take the legitimation papers with you right then. Get the judge to sign them, give them to her, because if she don't sign them right then, the child support is gonna halt right then if she won't sign the legitimation papers, because the judge is right there. So don't get them served somewhere else. I tell the guys, take it with you to court. When they call your
That's
name
right.
up for this child support case, say, Judge, I want to serve with legitimation papers. The judge gonna have the deputy walk over, get the papers. Boom, she signed, he signed, the judge signed. It's done right then. Then the man will get all his rights as a father. The rights don't come
And
without
you'll
that
make
paper.
sure, because in order for the judge to sign legitimation, he's going to make sure a blood test has been done before he signs that order to give you legitimation rights. So I'm going to give you an example of how bad it could be without legitimation. We had a case one time. A man had been living with a woman for 15 years. They had a son together. He had 3 other children that he was never married to their moms that were grown. He died. The lady he was living with said, all of his property I wanted, it belongs to me and my son. We were living here. They said, were you married to him when you had the son? No. Did he do legitimation? No. Are the other kids legitimized? Did he do paperwork? No. They gave everything to his sister. They had no rights. He had no will, and they had no rights. So without that, your child has no rights if something happens to the man. So that's some things that we have to keep in mind. It gets kind of deep when you don't know what you're doing.
So when I do part 2, I'll make sure I have you back for that, because I talked about that, because again, the men were complaining about bitter moms who won't let them see their child or won't do this. And it's like, that ain't her choice. So I told them how to get visitation, how to get everything that they're due, but it's a way around it. Mel says, you can't tell me marriage ain't important. And and it's important for who it's important for. Paperwork is important. Paperwork. Because even in the example she gave, even in death or divorce, wills reign supreme. It's another one that we had a turn on talked about. When you don't have your paperwork in order, you're gonna give the state more power than anybody else in your family. And this is an important thing that people don't understand. Everybody uncomfortable conversation. Nobody wants to talk about death. And again, this is something you should be talking about with your kids. When to get life insurance, when to get this. Oh, I'm only 20. Nobody wants to do these things. These are life conversations that we need to have to make them better people, so that when they meet somebody who they think is worthy of their companionship, they can educate them as well. These are things that we don't like to talk about until after the fact. I mean, what DMX's wife caught hell, Chadwick Boseman's girlfriend, and the 3 other high-profile people who caught hell because they weren't married. And if you don't get married, your marriage is important if you're in a real relationship. That paperwork means a lot. It means a lot. But you know what? Because it came up a couple of days ago, if one parent dies, the other one gets Social Security benefits only if the parent who dies worked. Social Security don't kick in just cause. You got to contribute to it to get something. I didn't know that till the other day. when somebody was talking about it. It's like, why don't you get Social Security benefits? Well, he never had a real job. See, that's a parenting issue, and it's something that needs
And
to
then
be talked
also,
about even more.
the ex-wives get it if they've been married to him 10 years as well. So if you're an ex-wife and the person dies, the new wife and you both get it if the ex-wife was married to him 10 years or more.
So there's a lot of little things that go into making good human beings. And there's knowledge that most of us have that sometimes we think somebody ain't ready for, or we think that this and that. Just have it. And if you got to do follow-ups, do them. Because at some point, it may click, and then that's when they got the questions. Don't just say you talked about it when they were 7. Have the conversations. Talk about not just the good things. Talk about the bad things that can happen. Once you're prepared for the worst case scenario, everything else is a piece of cake. Stop creating full families with people who are separated for years but never divorced. Because I know of someone where the wife got everything and also took the home they lived in and put her and the kids out. But what is it that you asked for? And this is where both parties try to shame the other one into getting something, and it's not shaming, it's stepping up for yours. Moretta said something, and y'all know I slightly disagree with her, but she said something about not being selfish. Sometimes you have to be selfish. If you don't put yourself first, sometimes nobody else will. There are times you got to put you first, especially as it relates to family dynamics. You got to make sure this is taken care of. I'm totally agreeing with putting your partner first as well, but sometimes you got to put you first. Things are going to happen. The kids are going to come first sometimes the parents are going to come first, but at some time you got to make it be about you, because you need peace of mind as well. If you spend all your time taking care of everybody else, you're going to be really unfulfilled at the end of the day, unless you just like being walked on. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. What you got, Mo? You look like you're in deep thought there.
Man, I'm learning today. This is a space that I'm not in, but I just tell you on a personal level, one of the things that I'm scared most about is leaving this earth and not having the people that mean the most to me, not leaving the things that I have, leaving them to them and having them be able to get access to them. Because I know how this world is. I've been in it for a little while, and if you don't, like you said, DVP, if you don't do the right paperwork or make the right provisions, that might not happen.
Oh, ain't no might. It won't happen. The best laid plans of mice and men often go astray if you don't have it written down somewhere. And it's something that's not that hard. But like I say, we want to dance around it because we don't ever want to think about death. We don't want to talk about what's supposed to happen in death. Yeah, and the living trust. There are just so many ways you can do it that don't require you spending a lot of money. It just requires you filling out paperwork and getting it notarized. Most banks notarize stuff for free. Most of these notaries don't charge that much. It's not that hard. It's just nobody wants to do it. We don't talk about it, so nobody knows to do it until it's too late. And anybody who's had to deal with a funeral knows how messy they can cause families to be. It's an ugly thing. And when we have this exposure, when we're teaching our kids or whoever it is that's looking up to us, I tell the story of the lady that was in a car wreck and she survived, but her baby died, and she didn't have insurance on the baby because the baby wasn't supposed to die. That was something. The rider policy was damn near free, but she didn't get it. Now she traumatized, and she got to go in debt. Nobody cremates babies. So when do we have that lesson with them just to be prepared for emergencies? It's almost like we're scared to talk about the bad things in life, even though we know they exist.
Yeah, and I'll just add that, that's a good point, because you're still going to get impacted regardless. If you don't talk about it, that's not going to make a difference. If you don't prepare for it, that's not going to make a difference. You still will get impacted.
So, Mo, what is it that we need to do more? What's up, Robert? What is it we need to do more of training, educating the young men of the world so they can grow up to be responsible adults?
Yeah, no, so let me just say this first. That's a two-way street. You got to have a teacher, somebody that has the information and knowledge, and you got to have a student, somebody willing to listen and take in the information and knowledge. So that's both sides have to work towards that. You know, you need people to present the information, who know the information, who probably live the information, and then you need the people to show up to say, listen, man, I'm not quite sure what this life stuff is all about. You know, you got some years on me. You've been through a lot more. Teach me. And I put together a program, actually. It's called Survival Metaphysics for young men, so that they can learn the basics and know the things that are about to come in their way as an obstacle. And I got to tell you, I don't get not much traction in that group. But if they want to save themselves some heartache, and I'll make it based on the law. You know, listen, DVP, you know the law, you know about that. You know, if these young men want that information, they got to come see you. That's why we're here. That's why you do this show. You're information exchange with knowledge that you want to share. And so, you know, show up, young men, show up, young sisters. You know, we got some information and knowledge for you that that'll save you heartache and trauma. Trust.
Well, unfortunately, most of them don't know the question to ask, and I think that's what we have to do a better job, which is why I reached out to you two. We have a lot of information, and sometimes it sucks from a time constraint, but sometimes you just have to put stuff out there and see what sticks, because they don't know what they don't know. It's kind of like as adults, we don't know what we're missing until somebody presents it to us. These kids, they don't know that they need these things, so you just got to talk about certain things and let them pick what they want to, and then you start creating specifics of what it is they want to know. Because how can a kid, what would make them just walk up to you and ask you about insurance if insurance is something, and it's crazy, it ain't just something that black people want to do. I had a white attorney on the show, and he said he know plenty of white attorneys who don't have insurance because they don't want to talk about death. And I just thought that just floored me. But hearing it from a white guy who's like, yeah, he work in a big law firm, and he says, you know, they've had deaths and caught hell because nobody had it. So we can't always expect them to ask for help because they don't know they need help. And that's what we gotta. Moretta, Robert says you're looking cute. Yeah, but they don't always know they need help. Uh-oh, it look like everybody froze now.
I'm still here.
Okay. So yeah, how do you get past that part? Like I say, other than just like you're gonna do with your stock class, you're gonna give out general information, let people come back to you and ask you questions.
That's right. Yeah, you know, there's got to be forum where you can push the information out. You know, like you said, some people will ask, but then for those who don't, you just push it out there and you say, listen, here's the information. You know, if it can benefit you, good. If it can't, then you know it's out there for you to utilize whenever you need it.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take. Nah, we're gonna take last, but we'll just end the show kind of early. Is Moretta, you still there with me? I see your picture, but it don't like you moving. So let's take a quick 2-minute, 3-minute break and see if we can get Moretta back so we can get ready to close out. Boss lady. So
follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
You see, Head & Shoulders has scalp shield technology, protects against flakes, even between washes. It's never not working.
Kind of like us. Number 15?
Never not working.
I don't like this one.
Me neither.
Let's get out of here.
Head & Shoulders scalp shield, never not working.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. call 211 or visit 211.org.
For 200 years, Montgomery, Alabama has been making history by people who had the courage to stand up for change. Today, this riverfront city has been reborn, embracing the past and looking forward to the future. From the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to the stage of the Alabama Shakespeare Festival, this is where history was and is made. We are proud to call Montgomery home, and together, we can be the change.
It's been difficult because I hadn't been able to see my grandchildren.
An expression on someone's face when you do something nice for them.
I miss all my friends in school.
Visit GetVaccineAnswers.org so you can make an informed decision about COVID-19 vaccine.
Let's face it, shopping for insurance can be time-consuming. That's why when it comes to your auto, home, and life insurance needs, make things simple and trust the experts at Allstate. They will help you get the coverage that fits your needs while helping you bundle your life, home, and auto policies. Bundling saves you money, sure, but it also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
This is Carlos Brown, letting you know that we're on the move. You can now catch the Carlos Brown Show beginning this July on the Black College Sports Network each and every Saturday from 11 to 1 Eastern Time. That's 10 to 12 Central Time. Same time, new place. On Facebook at the Carlos Brown Show and Black College Sports Network. Online at www.mybcsn.net and on the BCSN app available on Google Play and the Apple App Store.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and parenting education coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentjax.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Whether it's advice on managing your anxiety or tools to help you stay grounded, Coping-19 provides a range of resources and self-care tips to help you cope with this pandemic. We can help. Find the resources that work best for you at coping-19.org.
One bite of 100% Angus beef ballpark frank, and you'll say, hello, summer. Oh yeah, it's ballpark season.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
We're all about feeding your family with meat and plant-based protein that's good for the planet, good for you, and just plain good. That's all the protein you need, all on your plate.
Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique to spice up your closet with trendy, unique looks. We have fashionable and chic looks at very affordable prices. Velvet Boutique offers free shipping all year long on all orders. Shop online at www.melvetboutique.com. That's www.melvetboutique.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Shop Velvet Online Women's Boutique.
All right, we back. Moretta had to run out and take care of some things, so she can't tell you about the events she had coming. And Robert is here, but I think he left. He got some events coming up. So, but I'm gonna get with Mo. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this the stock market thing. We're gonna see if we can get something done on here or how he's gonna do it, and maybe we'll just have to do a co-op so you guys can come. Because you say you're doing it on the 28th, right?
It's gonna be on the 25th.
Oh, the 25th. So yeah, it won't be another show before that. So I will. If you want to know about the stock market thing, either inbox me or is it gonna be on your page, Mo?
Yeah, I can send it to whoever, or I'll send it to you, and you can send it out if you want.
Okay. It will be on it'll be on my pages. It'll be in Random Thoughts. So I'll make sure I share it everywhere, and we'll go from there. But what I really want us to do is understand that there is no training to become a spouse. In reality, there's just not. There's a lady who has a wife class. She's wanted by the law people, so don't take her class. But for $10,000, she'll teach you how to be a perfect wife, and it includes not having electricity. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God.
Rocatino. just everybody should follow Rocatino for 3 days. You're gonna get kicked out after that because you're gonna say something. But just follow her and look at her wife school stuff, which includes poverty. But that's a whole nother story. We have to do better about policing our own. Men have to do better at being men and teaching boys how to be men. Women need to do the same thing. You know, and one of the examples I give, and it's a bad example, but it's the best example I can give. When you go back and you look at the George Floyd killing, and I'm not telling you to watch, I'm just telling you what I saw. There was a little girl there who saw George Floyd die. She was surrounded by men who didn't do anything. Why would she ever feel safe in the company of men who stood by and watched another man die and called for his mother? To me, it's instances like that that are for the public. And women see this and they wonder, we're fighters, we're going to do this. I'll defend. But you stood by and watched a man die. So why should she feel safe with you? They watch us attack women. Why would they feel safe with us? They watch the videos. They see on the news every other day a man killing a woman, either his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend, the woman who wouldn't give him time of day, the woman who talked about his shoes or something. Why would they feel safe with us? This is something that when I hear men start telling women what they should do, but they don't ever tell the guys to man up. If a woman don't want you, let her go. She ain't for you. And if she for the streets and you don't want a street woman, then it's doubly she ain't for you. So why, if you think she's for the streets, why are you chasing her? See, this is decision making 101. Me and Mo are married, but we can still tell you there's some things that we know we don't want. And if a woman presents us with those things, why would we keep thinking that we're a good choice for her or she's a good choice for us? She's already exhibited that she wasn't. So what is the hang up that we feel the need to be degrading, derogatory, confrontational, argumentative about? If it ain't what she want, if she ain't what we want, what are we arguing about? But men won't tell boys or dudes to keep it moving. We'll tell women what they should do. Or if you want a good man, you should do this. Or if you want a good man, you should do that. And I'm going to stick to what I say all the time. And I'm going to use Mo now because Mo ain't sensitive. Mo can't tell me what a man wants in a relationship unless he's dated men. Mo can tell me what Mo wants. Mo can't tell you what DVP wants. I mean, he may be able to tell you some little thing because he heard me say it, but Mo can't say every man wants this. Mo has Mo, to my knowledge, Mo has never dated a man. So how can he say what men want? DVP does not date men, so I can't say, oh, men want this, men want that. That's insane. But I won't check men who are disrespectful to women. I won't check men who are aggressive and violent toward women. I won't even have that conversation. Oh yeah, she deserved it. You saw how she was talking to that dude. But sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. We learned that what, in the first or second grade? So what is it a woman can say that makes her deserve a beating? But men won't check dudes, boys, or other men. Me and Trina been on the same post at times, and I can say something disrespectful. Trina can say something that ain't even count, but they'll go in on Trina, but they won't say a word to me. Or they'll say something disrespectful to Trina, or even another woman, as what happened with Moretta. And I'll go in and defend a woman. Now I'm a simp. Because I defend women? What kind of man are you that thinks defending a woman makes you a simp? And then you wonder why a woman doesn't want you. She sees that you won't defend women. Women will stick together in that instance. They like to see men defending women. They want to feel safe in our presence, whether they know us or not, whether they're sleeping with us or not. They want to feel safe. It's one of the things that makes us attracted to most of them. Most of them. But this ain't what we do. And it ain't just social media. You know, when I told a guy who was like, women need to do this, I work in clubs where men buy drinks, and if another man sit down and next talk to her, the man will go over and snatch a drink. How immature is that? But this is a club for people over 30. I don't get it. But women should just automatically trust men. I saw a guy who told women at the outbreak of the pandemic, well, even if you're in an abusive relationship, you should stay with that man because at least you know how he gonna beat you. Don't go to a new man that may beat you a different way. What the fuck was that about? Stay in an abusive relationship? Just and he was an advocate. Go ahead, Mo. That made my head hurt.
Yeah, no, I just well, I'm gonna tell another story that might make your head hurt, but you know, I'm not looking for no applause or accolades on this. I'm just gonna tell you something that I experienced, and I had to just step away. But you know, I used to go to this gym, and I made friends with this guy. We used to play ball all the time. Well, one day he came up to me. He says, "Man, you know, I got these two honeys that they both want to marry me." So I'm sitting there thinking, okay, what you gonna do? He said, well, what I'm gonna do is I got one that want me to come to a party, and then I got the other one, she want me to take her out. So, you know, I'm gonna play him for a little while and this and that. All I can tell you is I stopped talking to that dude and hanging with that dude after he told me that story. Because that don't make no kind of sense. You know what I mean? Just be straight up with he could have been straight up with them and told them, listen, I'm not looking for marriage or whatever. But listen, have some principles out here, man. Don't be just doing whatever. That don't make any sense. And then you wonder why the women don't want to deal with you with no men. They don't want to deal with no men. You know, they got to be real cautious about how they handle and move. You know, so I just want to tell that story because that was a time where I was really disappointed in that fella. We were just acquaintances. It wasn't really none of my business. But you know, I decided to, you know, I'm gonna leave him where he stand, man, because I can't support nothing like that.
And it's crazy how they get offended when you call them out on their BS. Because I have lost some friends who I held in a semi-high regard till they showed me that they were dudes dressed in men's clothing. And I was like, dude, I can't rock with you like that. It irks me. I had a roommate who knew how protective I am of women in general. In general. He took me to an event and he pushed his girlfriend. Now, I knew his girlfriend in passing, but had we not been out of town and I needed to ride back, I would have jumped him right then. So we rolled back in total silence. Total silence. We're talking about an hour and a half ride. When we got back to the house, remember that we're roommates. We got to the house. I told my dude, you might as well go on to pack your shit. You need to go. He said, you serious? Yeah. He said, man, you don't even know her. I said, dude, you know how I feel about men putting their hands on women. Man, all I did was push her. I said, and the fact that you saying all you did was, but why'd you push her? Because she said something disrespectful. I said, that's my point. So that I don't have to whoop your ass, just move. Just move. And you know what? We ain't spoke since then. And he was supposed to be at the time one of my best friends. But I couldn't rock with that. And he didn't see a problem with it because she was talking. Don't get me wrong. I've made mistakes in my life before. And I try to atone for them. Have I done things that I ain't proud of? Absolutely. Have I ever put my hands on a woman? I have. And that's why now I'm overprotective of them, because I realize in my diminished mental capacity, I wasn't the man that I was claiming to be. I was a dude who fit the male description, and I thought that made me a man. Know better, do better. Once I realized the error of my ways, the light came on, it ain't happening. This is how this has to go. When I see stuff now, I can't sit back and watch a man put his hands on a woman and I'd be like, I wonder what she did. Oh no, we going over and do some intervention. If it ain't nothing but standing right there next to her and saying, brother, what's up? To let him know he's being seen. I ain't telling y'all to put y'all hands on people. I ain't telling y'all to fight for nobody. All I'm saying is do what most people hate. They hate being noticed. They hate being confronted. When you confront an abuser, it's like confronting a burglar. They want to turn and leave. They don't want to continue robbing place under somebody's seen them. This is how we can teach our boys, our young men, our fake men to be better and be held accountable. But it's imperative that each sex hold their own sex accountable before they start trying to tell other sexes what they should do. Mo, it's 7:50. Hey, give us some parting words there, sir.
Yeah, I just tap on to what DVP was talking about. We're supposed to be, if you want to, first of all, you want to call yourself a man and a protector, and you want to get all machismo. You should not be touching a woman, even disrespecting her or talking to her in any kind of way. You know what I mean? That's if you want to hold yourself to those kind of standards, then do that. Make sure you hold yourself accountable. That's number one. Before you start telling everybody else what to do, before you start telling that woman what to do, hold yourself accountable. Because the better we each get, the better our environments and our relationships and everything else will get.
Thank you, sir. And I'm going to say this. Be careful what you ask for. Some of us ask for a good man or a good woman, and you're not prepared for that. Because no matter where we think we're in life, sometimes we're still not our best self. And sometimes you ask for more than you can handle, and then you try to blame them as opposed to saying, damn, maybe I ain't man enough yet. Maybe I ain't finished maturing yet. Maybe I ain't finished growing yet. Maybe it ain't them. What do they say? If you having problems finding a man or a woman, there's only one constant, and that's you. So maybe you need to fix that before you start trying to fix the rest of civilization. That's just one man's opinion. But I'm going to stick with the fact that we got to check each other and let the women check women, because that's what we know best. I can't tell a woman how to be a woman. I can tell her what I like. May not translate to Mo. May not translate to Stanford. May not translate to Joe, John, or Jim. There is no standard that everybody wants. We got to let that go. And ladies and gentlemen, if nothing else, if we don't learn nothing else, if somebody ain't for you, let them go. Don't keep trying to change them and tell them what they missing. If you were such a great catch, you wouldn't be single. That's all I'm saying. So quit saying you're a great catch while you single. Ain't nobody else trying to get you, so what make you think somebody else missing out on you? That's all I'm saying. That's what the facts say. So, Ginger, I'm glad you was here. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to close this out. I'm going to put information when Mo gives it to me for those of y'all who want to learn about the stock market class, because I definitely want to know. I got a couple of accounts and I ain't figured out what to do with them. So we're going to do that. And he said that's going to be on the 25th, which is, what, Friday or Saturday?
I think it's Saturday.
Okay, and about what time do you?
I got it. Let me see. It's gonna be 4 p.m. Well, I got all the different time zones. So which one you want? You want just yours?
Eastern?
Eastern time zone, 4 p.m.
Okay, so it's gonna be 4 o'clock Georgia time. But like I said, once he send me stuff, I'm gonna post it on Random Thoughts. I'm gonna post it on my Darren Bell pages. I'm gonna post on the Good Man Need Training page. It'll be there. If you miss it, it's because you didn't want to come. All right. So with that being said, y'all know what it is. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.